Hi everyone. This presentation will show the sun's path east to west above the Earth during the day of March 20th, 2026, the day when the spring equinox occurs. UU's astronomical algorithms of the sun determines its location every second of every day of every year. Since day 4 of creation, every second of every day of every year, the sun obeys UU's commandments. By understanding UU's astronomical algorithms he intentionally created the sun to obey, we are able to determine the sun's location every second of every day of every year, which is provided by numerous astronomical data websites, like the United States Naval Observatory Astronomical Department of Data Services, NOAA Solar Calculator, and SunCalc. These astronomical data websites will be used to determine the sun's path east to west during the entire day of March 20th, 2026, the spring equinox. The United States Naval Observatory Astronomical Data Department Services provides an Earth Seasons page, which provides the dates of the equinoxes and solstice for each year to year 2100. The data sheet for year 2026 states the spring equinox occurs on March 20th at Universal Time 1446. Next, the NOAA Solar Calculator website will be used to determine the exact longitude location when the sun is directly above the equator at Universal Time 1446. The sun is directly above the equator at Universal Coordinated Time 1446.21 at minus 39.74 longitude. The location box shows the sun is at 0 degrees latitude, which is the equator, and at minus 39.74 longitude. The date box is the 20th of March 2026. The local time box is 14:46:21, which is hour 14, 46 minutes, and 21 seconds. The solar declination, which is the same as the latitude location of the sun, is 0, which means the sun is directly above the equator. The azimuth and altitude angle box shows 0 azimuth and 90 degrees altitude with the sun directly above. At 14:46:21 UTC, the sun location is at 0 latitude, the equator, and minus 39.74 longitude. This is the exact time of the spring equinox. This table shows the exact path of the sun, east to west, above the Earth during the day at solar hour increments in universal coordinated time, from plus 180 degrees longitude to minus 165 degrees longitude. This data was obtained from the NOAA Solar Calculator, with the time accurate to the second and the sun latitude degrees location accurate to 1/100th of a degree north or south of the equator. The latitude location of the sun is either south of, north of, or above the equator. Latitude degrees north or south of the equator are converted to miles because 1 degree of latitude equals 69.04677 miles. At time 000734, the sun is 17 miles south of the equator. At time 14:0725, the sun is 1 mile south of the equator. Between these two times, the sun traveled 16 miles north. At time 14:46:21, the sun is directly above the equator at longitude minus 39.74. This is the exact time of the spring equinox. At time 15:0724, the sun is 1 mile north of the equator. At time 23:0718, the sun is 10 miles north of the equator. Between these two times, the sun traveled 9 miles. The total distance the sun traveled the entire day is 27 miles north. Next, we will observe the sun's movement east to west above the Earth at solar hour increments. 000734 UTC. Sun location is at minus 0.24 latitude, 17 miles south of the equator, and at plus and minus 180 degrees longitude. 010735 UTC. Sun location is at minus 0.22 latitude, 15 miles south of the equator, and at plus 165 longitude. 020733 UTC. Sun location is at minus 0.21 latitude, 14 miles south of the equator, and at plus 150 longitude. 030733 UTC. Sun location is at minus 0.19 latitude, 13 miles south of the equator, and at plus 135 longitude. 040731 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.17 latitude, 12 miles south of the equator, and at plus 120 longitude. 050732 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.16 latitude, 11 miles south of the equator, and at plus 105 longitude. 060731 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.14 latitude, 10 miles south of the equator, and at plus 90 degrees longitude. 070730 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.12 latitude, 8 miles south of the equator, and at plus 75 longitude degrees. 080729 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.11 latitude, 8 miles south of the equator, and at plus 60 degrees longitude. 090729 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.09 latitude, 6 miles south of the equator, and at plus 45 longitude degrees. 100728 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.07 latitude, 5 miles south of the equator, and at plus 30 longitude degrees. 110727 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.06 latitude, 4 miles south of the equator, and at plus 15 longitude degrees. 120727 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.04 latitude, 3 miles south of the equator, and at 0 longitude degrees. 130725 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.02 latitude, 1 mile south of the equator, and at minus 15 longitude degrees. 140725 UTC, sun location is at minus 0.01 latitude, 1 mile south of the equator, and at minus 30 longitude degrees. 144621 UTC, sun location is at 0.00 latitude, above the equator, and at minus 39.74 longitude degrees. 150724 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.01 latitude, 1 mile north of the equator, and is at minus 45 longitude degrees. 160723 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.02 latitude, 1 mile north of the equator, and is at minus 60 longitude degrees. 170723 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.04 latitude, 3 miles north of the equator, and at minus 75 longitude degrees. 180722 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.06 latitude, 4 miles north of the equator, and at minus 90 longitude degrees. 190721 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.07 latitude, 5 miles north of the equator, and at minus 105 longitude degrees. 200721 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.09 latitude, 6 miles north of the equator, and at minus 120 longitude degrees. 210720 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.11 latitude, 8 miles north of the equator, and at minus 135 longitude degrees. 220719 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.12 latitude, 8 miles north of the equator, and at minus 150 longitude degrees. 230718 UTC, sun location is at plus 0.14 latitude, 10 miles north of the equator, and at minus 165 longitude degrees. Next, the sun's path from east to west will be sequenced for the entire day. Shalom and blessings to all.